So allow me to ask you a number of questions. I will try to dissect, if I can use that term, your presentation and go point by point, asking you a number of questions so that our audience can better understand the complexity and variety of your service offering. So let me ask the first question. Pankaj, commercial management has traditionally been the core business of Heidmar, but now you have expanded also into technical management with the acquisition of LBSM. Now, how does this enhance the value proposition to your clients?
Yeah, so a key to our performance is the performance of the vessel. So what we do in terms of chartering the vessel then transfers across to operations, who then call the vessel or message the vessel and say, hey, Captain, please go from port A to port B, load this cargo, go to port C and discharge the cargo. So if the technical management does not perform, we are unable to perform and provide the highest return. And that has been our experience over 40 years. And we have worked with various different third-party managers and in-house managers. So technical performance of the vessel, because what is shipping is not what I do in the office. Shipping is a ship that's out there on the water that carries a cargo from port A to port B and delivers the cargo safely. So technical management is that aspect of the business where we are able to offer that service now to our customers at a high standard. So we are managing VLCCs, which are the very largest vessels, which have the highest barriers to entry and the highest standard required as far as tankers are concerned. So we have a well-approved manager that we can then deploy and use for other clients who want it, where we are able to offer crews, qualified crews that can man vessels, tankers, bulkers, or containers. We can provide a SMS system, a ship management system that is approved by all the major class societies and also by well approved by all the oil companies. So, I mean, we have SIRE approval over the years, over the like 6-7 years on these VLCCs from quite a few major charterers. And then, of course, we have also TMSA audits done by 2 very large oil majors who have also approved the company. So we can also do time charter business. So it's a critical part, and especially for the financial investor. If they have to go to a separate technical manager and a separate commercial manager, then you need manage the manager functions. Then you start to create this management role that has to oversee everything. When you give it all to Heidmar, I can only perform well on the commercial side if technical is doing well. So my commercial oversees the technical and make sure that they perform. So that's the only way then we can perform on the earnings promises that we make.
Thank you. So now let me move to the next vertical. Heidmar also offers corporate management services. So can you elaborate on what this entails and how it complements your broader service offering to the ship owners?
Yeah, so this is dealing with the bureaucracy, right? So if you say tomorrow that you want to buy a vessel, you cannot just go somewhere and buy a vessel. You need KYC clearances, you need to have companies set up, you need bank accounts set up, you need the bank accounts to be KYC'd, you need treasury management systems, and then eventually you need US GAAP or IFRS accounting. So we offer all of that to our clients where we can do the full corporate setup. We can set up the companies in whatever jurisdictions that they want. We already have the relationships with the major banks, so we can do the bank account setup quite quickly as well. And then, of course, we have the treasury management system with a couple of banks that we use, not just one. And then eventually, of course, we're doing US GAAP, PCOB accounting for Heidmar, and we can offer the same for our clients as well. I mean, we've been auditing our accounts even when we were private for the last 20 years. So we've been always held to these high standards, and so we can offer the same service to our investors. This obviously removes quite a lot of complexity and bureaucracy for the investors.
Thank you. Now let me move to the next one regarding project development. Now, how do you envision this platform evolving, And what types of investors or partners are you looking to engage with?
Look, there's a wide universe of investors that are interested in shipping in general. And shipping at the right time can offer quite attractive results. I mean, you and I have been in the industry long enough to see some people make billions of dollars in this industry. Timing is everything, but the ability to be in the market is the most important. So for us, we are working with smaller investors, high net worth individuals who want to make small investments in shipping. But also we're working with some large funds, sovereign wealth funds. We're looking to pitch various projects to also to other funds in the US and elsewhere who are looking for the kind of returns that shipping can still offer. And so, we are set up to service any of these. But also, as I said, we're on the strategic side, we're working with ship owners who have 5 bulk carriers and now want to buy an MR. There are a ship owner I saw recently who's got almost 20 bulk carriers, but now is looking at diversifying into the tanker sector. So the array of investors is quite wide. And for us, we are not geared only for the large funds or only for the small guy. It depends on who comes along the way and what the project is. And this is why we've positioned ourselves to do work for any of these type of investors.
Thank you, Pankaj. Now, digitalization and AI have been big themes all over the place and also for shipping. So are there any particular market trends on digitalization and AI that you see shaping the future of shipping, and particularly Heidmar's strategy?
Yeah, I mean, look, AI, I think is a great tool to make things more efficient. There's always room for efficiency in terms of any industry, but especially in shipping. In terms of, we have processes for everything, but those processes rely on people following the process. And many times, you know how human beings are. It's like, oh, well, I forgot. 9 times out of 10, they follow the process, and then the one time it may slip. AI prevents that. So we are able to harden our systems so that people don't forget, and there is no possibility of not following processes. Also, AI can make things more efficient where we do not need human intervention on certain things. Where when information flows in, it is assessed instead of a human eyeballing it and then accepting it. AI can check it against certain parameters which are set. And if those parameters are met, it can accept it. So it only flags up so that then a human needs to see what it is and so on. So it can make our operations a lot more effective and efficient than we are right now. Other than that, the most important place where AI and digitalization has a role is obviously in decarbonization. Even though a lot of strides have been made in reducing fuel consumption over the years, I think if you look at let's say, vessel that was built in 2000 or 2010 versus one built today, the fuel consumption has almost halved. However, there is still room. I mean, it's not zero. So we can use AI and digitalization to improve fuel consumption further until we come up with the alternative fuels that will allow us to decarbonize fully.
Thank you, Pankaj. Concluding our discussion, let me ask you a last question. For investors tuning in, what do you believe is the most compelling or a number of compelling reasons to follow the Heidmar story today?
Well, I think we offer a way for the investors to take advantage of market trends in shipping as they happen, because we have a very large retail investor base, and our stock inflects a lot more and shows a lot more volatility than the other stocks do. We reflect, our performance reflects what happens in the market. So the way we make our living is by we make a commission or a fee on the gross freight. So if the freights are going up, our earnings starts to go up. So it's one, and we are very leveraged to that. So you can see that very quickly when it happens. So as the markets go up, our earnings will go up. So that's another way to play the markets. And then, of course, as a services company with very few, if any, assets at this point, our way of being valued as well is different than the usual ship owning companies that unfortunately are still valued at net asset value. So I think the leverage that we have to the market offers investors an opportunity to play the markets. That's probably the biggest, easiest way to put it. And then, of course, our valuation should be different to what the other maritime companies are, and that also offers then a higher multiple. So, I mean, for example, other services companies like shipbrokers who are listed are trading at 10 times. So, that's something that most ship owning companies would dream of. So if we are able to achieve that or better, then obviously that is something offers a lot of upside to investors.
Pankaj, thank you very much for joining us today. This has been a particularly detailed and insightful webinar on Heidmar's company profile, the market dynamics, and of course, the corporate strategy of Heidmar. I'd like to thank everyone who attended for taking the time to join us. And please note that this webinar will also be available for access upon demand on Capital Link's website at www.capitallinkwebinars.com, on Capital Link's YouTube channel, and also it will be available on Heidmar's website at www.heidmar.com. Thank you to everybody for joining us today.